All right, all right, all right. Hog Rider. I don't know why, but I've started so many streams recently by saying, all right, all right, all right, Hog Rider. I don't know why the fuck I've been doing it, but it's something I've been doing, like, a lot these last few streams. Yeah, it's been a minute since we've done a Redeye Raw, at least a live one, right? Because technically, we did do a, we did do a Redeye Raw review of, The Boys Season 1. But haven't done a Redeye Raw live in a fat minute, so I figured, why not do it, and have a good time. So here we are, with another Redeye Raw. And a couple things I wanted to talk about today, right? So first and foremost, right? Ever since I did the Mormon video, right? I've been getting back more into the philosophical and religious stuff. So I've been listening to like an audiobook of the Bible. I'm on Leviticus now.
Which version? English Standard, King James.
King James. So yeah, I'm on Leviticus chapter 23 now, I think. Leviticus is kind of a slog, I'm not gonna lie.
Are you reading the Bible live?
I'm not doing it live right now, no. I'm just saying I've been listening to an audiobook of it.
Hey, I was just wondering, because your channel said Redeye Raw live, and I just...
Well, yes, we are live. We are live on YouTube, yes. But I'm not, like, reading the Bible out loud. But what I'm saying is I've been listening to an audiobook, and about halfway through Leviticus 23. But Leviticus fucking drags. Like, it is a slog. Because, like, it's like, oh, hey,
Genesis is a long chapter.
Genesis is amazing, though. Genesis is fucking great. Genesis is peak. I love Genesis.
I mean, in Evan Almighty, they reference Genesis 6:14.
Okay. I'm just saying, like, Genesis is good because it's got so many stories crammed into one volume, right? Like, there's creation, there's Cain and Abel, there's Noah, there's fucking, like, I'm swearing a lot when talking about the Bible, too, but, there's, what is it? There's,
the Great Flood.
Yeah, there's Noah's Flood, thank you, that's what I was thinking. It's funny, because you were literally just talking about Evan Almighty, so that should have come into my head. But then there's, Jacob, well, actually, there's Abraham and Isaac, and then there's, their kid, Isaac's son Jacob, who becomes Israel, and then he's like the main character of Genesis, if there were to be like a main quote-unquote character. With Jacob, he's like the protagonist of Genesis by far, because like everything...
Since you're talking about the Bible...
yeah, go for it, man. What's up?
You know, you've seen Passion of the Christ, right?
Yes, many years ago.
Oh, good movie.
No, yeah, Mel Gibson knows how to direct. And to be clear, I'm not, like, the most, like, hyper-religious guy either. I've just been getting back into that again. Because I used to be super religious when I was younger.
My dad, me and my father's getting back in the church. We've been in the church for a couple while.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not necessarily...
I just say myself I'm a Christian Lutheran, you know? And that's
okay.
You know?
Well, I don't really put a label on it as far as, like, which denomination. I call myself Christian. I was raised Mormon. But there are, like, with me, like, I don't know how much of it I take literally and how much of it I take figuratively. That's something I'm still ironing out, but I think...
Yeah, because I don't understand Normanism that much, because I'm not from...
Normanism? You mean Mormonism, but yeah. Well, yeah. The actual technical name of the religion is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. But I have not been an active member in that church for years, like... I was still going up until, like, 2019, but that was, like, sporadically. I wasn't really, like, super active at that. The last time I was really super active was back when I was 16. Actually, I'd say actually more like 17 or 18, now that I think about it, but still.
Yeah, all I know about it is they really want your money and stuff, and...
Well, that's every religion ever. Do you know what a collection plate is?
No.
Well, it's I don't know which religions it's in, but like I think Catholics have it, but I think just Christians in general tend to have it. They have a collection plate that they pass around and they take the money in. And with Mormons, they want 10% of your income. That is true. That's called tithing. And I remember I actually got into kind of an argument with the bishop at that when I was like 16 or 17. because he was telling me that I need to be paying tithing, and it's like, well, I don't have a fucking job, and he was like, oh, well, then you should be going to college. I'm like, fuck you, don't tell me what to do.
Yeah, and no, also against polyamorous relationships or whatever.
No. So what you were thinking of is, so first off, there's a difference between polygamy and polyamory, and second off, the mainline Mormon Church no longer practices polygamy. That is something that they did briefly in church history, but they haven't done it for a long time. There is branch-off churches, the FLDS Church and the RLDS Church, which do still practice polygamy, but those are not the mainline Mormons that you typically think of. Those are like fringe, like branch-offs that don't have a ton of members.
And also there's the Book of Mormon, but...
Well, the Book of Mormon is the book from which the slang comes from for the church to get its name, because Mormon was a prophet who apparently wrote it. Actually, I think his son Moroni wrote it, but it's supposed to be like he's like conscribing like his dad's work, but like then each one is written by different like prophets too, because it's basically a third testament following the New Testament is basically the concept behind it, okay. Whether or not you accept that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
yeah, what you were talking about, it doesn't. They don't do that anymore.
Right. They do. The mainline Mormon Church does not practice polygamy. Like the actual the actual one that's like...
Isn't that like multiple marriages at once? Or something?
Right, yes, that is what polygamy is, yes. And it's funny, because like doing that video kind of made me go back into philosophy and religion more again. Like, granted, like I've still been into that. It's been interesting to me, but I've been thinking about it a lot this last week or so. I bought this Bible at a thrift store that was apparently it was in Desert Storm, like the war, right?
Holy shit, man!
Yeah, so it was a military issued one, and it has like passages highlighted in it. So it's kind of interesting. I bought it because it was 75 cents at a thrift store, and I'm like, I mean,
they don't know what they're sitting on.
Well, no, I don't think it's anything spectacular with that. I don't think it's really worth anything. But I got it because it's interesting to think that maybe some guy in a war in Desert Storm, who maybe was on deployment, had it and was highlighting verses. So it's like this weird connection. I'm like, you know, it's interesting to see. I wonder what this guy found important to highlight. Like, I don't know. It's weird. I just felt compelled to buy it because of that.
Okay, since we're still on the topic of the Bible, one time some dude hacked the Playboy channel and put the verse, "Remember the Sabbath and keep it holy." Okay.
And was the Playboy channel like a TV network, or was it a website or a streaming service, or
TV network? This was in the 80s.
Gotcha. Well, another thing that, but yeah, like, so I bought that, it's also a different version of the Bible that I'd never heard of before, called the Good News Bible.
Yeah, that's a shortened version of the Bible.
Well, it's not just shortened. It's like written in like the most simplistic, basic English possible. Like it's written. It's like basically the Bible for retards. Like it's made to be as simple to understand as possible.
Okay, like basically normies.
Well, it's intended that even a child or someone whose first language wasn't English could understand it. That's kind of the point.
Yeah, because I've been in. All the Bibles I've owned, my family have owned, have been, I think, English Standard. I have
English Standard. So you've never even really been familiar with King James, then, have you?
All I know is there's English Standard, King James, which was, I think, used in England and something like that.
Well, King James is still used in the U.S. as well. Like, Mormons exclusively use the King James Version. Like, the King James Version...
I don't understand the difference between English Standard and King James. I thought the Bible was just...
No. So they're the same basic content, but they're different translations, so they have different, like... They use different verbiage. Like, the King James Version is like, it's like older English. Like, it's not the language... Because... It's what we would colloquially call Old English, like, you know, it's very like old-fashioned with its phrasing and stuff. Because there is actually another language called Old English, but most people don't even know about that. So when they say Old English, they mean old-timey English.
According to Conservativepedia, the English Standard Version of the Bible is essentially a little word-for-word English translation.
Okay.
First published in 2001.
Okay.
There's the Good News Bible, there's the Living Bible, there's the New American Bible, the New American Standard Bible, and there's also King James.
See, the two I'm most familiar with are New International Version and the King James Version, because King James is the one that I grew up with, and also, like I said, Mormons exclusively use that one.
NIV, it's called.
Well, NIV is the New International Version, yeah.
Yeah, but according to Conservativepedia, NIV has a site-liberal bias.
I wouldn't doubt that. But the King James Version is like, it's an old version, right? Like, I mean, the early...
The ESV has the least liberal bias of any modern translation.
Well, look, like I said, the thing is, I do tend to stick to King James, because it's widely considered to be...
I'm not trying to diss your Bible.
Well, I'm not, like I said, I'm not the most religious guy in the world either. It's not the end of the world. Like I said, like, with me... Like, one thing I actually hate is, like, when you're dealing with people who are Christians, and then they're, like, let's say, debating with someone who's not, and then they try to use the Bible as like an argue point. Like, you can't really do that, because that's not going to be compelling to an atheist. Like, if you're talking about morality, and then you start bringing in religion, and you're talking to someone who does not believe that religion, you're not going to make any headway. Like, that's why when I argue abortion, I do not argue from a religious standpoint. I simply argue from the point of view, like, the rights of the child. Like, that's the point I argue, is the individual rights of the child to not be killed.
Yeah, and another thing is, a lot of people believe that Pornhub should be banned.
I don't think it should. Like, it's not in my state. I don't know if you know this, but Utah, there was, like, a law that was passed where they basically said we're going to require, like, ID or age verification of some sort, and Pornhub's like, oh, we're pulling out of Utah then, and then Pornhub isn't available here. But guess what? Xvideos is still available here, and there's literally no restriction on here that wasn't there already. Like, there's nothing different. Like, you don't have to put in any information. You just click, are you over 18? Yes, okay. Like, that's all you have to do. That still exists in Utah. Like Pornhub is literally the only one that's different, and that's because they chose to pull out.
But still, I think, people that watch that content are either A, stupid, or B, they don't have anything to do in their life.
Well, I think that everyone's watched porn at some point or another. If you say you haven't, I just don't believe you. You know what I mean?
I don't want to. I don't want to embarrass myself.
Right, but I'm just saying, literally everyone has. And I do think porn is bad for society. I do think it is ultimately bad, but I think just saying everyone who watches porn is either stupid or has nothing to do, I think is not correct, because I think literally everybody's done it. Like, it's people who are, like, total coomers and get, like, addicted to it, sure. Fun fact, the Pornhub YouTube channel got banned, not surprised. I'm surprised they had a fucking YouTube channel in the first place.
All the videos would have been age-restricted for crying out.
Well, you're not even allowed to have pornographic content, even with an age-restricted video. Hence why anytime I review, like, a hentai or something, I gotta censor it. It's funny to transition from, I'm talking about religion, to mentioning the fact that I've reviewed hentai.
Just put up Walter every time you have to censor.
Well, no, I usually just go into, like, MS Paint and then delete, like, the tits or whatever, and then just put a thing over it that says, censored due to YouTube or something of that effect. One other thing that's been driving me nuts this week, I can't find my tobacco pipe. Like, it's not in the garage. It's driving me fucking nuts.
I hope no one stole it, man.
Oh, nobody stole it. It's like a $15 pipe. I can get another one really easy. Do you even deal with
thieves in your area?
I mean, I've had stuff stolen from me in the past, but not in a long time. And Utah doesn't really have a high crime rate. Like, when you get...
All the people from Chicago are moving out here, and I want to fucking get out, you know?
Well, but, like, if you go into, like, the big cities, you know, like Salt Lake or Park City or Cedar City...
then BYU is.
Right. When you get to, like, those kind of areas... The crime rate gets a little bit higher, and, like, surrounding areas around those. But like, for the most part, Utah has a relatively low crime rate. And that's also, like, just talking, like, in general, like as a whole, its crime rate is lower than like let's say New York or Illinois or Michigan. Like
Michigan because of Detroit.
Right. Well, and you know what the murder capital of the world is. I mean, granted, it's been a few years since I've checked this, but last time I checked, it was Gary, Indiana.
Oh yeah, Gary, Indiana's pretty bad. I thought it would be Detroit because it has a higher population.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, my stats on that are very, very outdated, so I could be wrong. But to my knowledge, Gary, Indiana is still the murder capital of the world. Murder capital of the world. Okay, so it's actually, according to Google, by 2024 statistics by World Population Review, it's actually St. Louis, Missouri, right now.
Damn.
Yeah, that has the highest murder rate at 69.4 murders per 100,000 people.
I think they need RoboCop more than Detroit now.
Okay.
He's asking the most stupidest question in the world that you don't drive.
I do drive.
Oh, wow.
Of course I drive. I drive.
Okay.
I drive all the time. Like I have to. Like I drive to and from work every day. Like I have to. Like I have my own car. Like
nice.
I own a house. I own a car. Like of course I drive.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
someday I'll be able to own my house. Someday I'll just get a cowboy hat, and if the world goes to shit, I'll just live off the grid.
Okay. Well, I mean, you definitely need preparations for something like that. Like, you need emergency food supplies. If you're living off the grid, you're going to need your own power generator. Like, you're not going to be, like, because that's what off the grid would entail.
Yeah, I'm just being sarcastic with that sometimes. I just, I don't know what I would do. Because for the first 2 years of Biden, I was really fucking blessed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Shit's probably going to get worse before it gets better. Just be prepared.
You're damn right it will. Most likely. Because they're going to do everything in their power to hurt this country.
Well, yeah, and, like, just in general, the affairs in the world right now are not exactly, sunshine and rainbows.
Through that. I got a question to ask you.
Yeah.
When are you doing your next Redeye feeder?
Haven't decided that yet. I just kind of do it spur of the moment. Might do one tomorrow, might do one next week, might do one whenever.
Okay. Just
Why, is there a particular thing you had in mind that you wanted to watch?
with the show you were talking about, Succession, if you haven't done it already.
We have not started that yet.
Okay.
I
don't know what else I would recommend for Redeye feeder. I was gonna recommend something for an April Fool's joke.
Oh yeah.
Just watch Snakes on a Plane or Sharknado.
I love Sharknado, and Snakes on a Plane is... I like... Snakes on a Plane is funny, too. The TV version is actually funnier. Because, I don't know if you...
I've had it with these freaking snakes on this Monday to Friday plane.
Yeah, well, it's monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane, but yeah.
I love how they had to switch it. That sounds like more like a PG-13 film than an R-rated film.
Well, actually, it was going to be at one point. Well, originally it was going to be a lot more serious, too. But then they saw that people reacted to like the funny bits in the trailer and like, oh, this looks stupid and fun, and so then they intentionally put a bunch of that shit in there, and then that kind of it was a little forced, to be perfectly honest. Like I still enjoyed Snakes on a Plane, but it is a little try hard. Like it's trying to be stupid.
And I assume you've seen Harold and Kumar.
I've seen all three. There's only three still, right? Yeah, 3 Harold and Kumar movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Harold and Kumar. It's not my favorite. I'm kind of, like, stoner comedies kind of cringe to me a lot of the time. Like, I like Harold and Kumar and Dude, Where's My Car are, like, the only stoner comedies I really like. Like, I'm sure if you pressed me, I could probably think of others, but I'm just saying, like, it's not my go-to genre.
Yeah. I don't know what else to talk about, but yeah. I'm just giving you some April Fool's suggestions. And if you do what I feel on April Fool's, you may as well pay your character Sarge or whatever.
Well, I mean, if I'm doing Sergeant Bastard for an entire Redeye, if I'm constantly providing commentary, That would be hell on my voice. I mean, I could do it. It just I would want it to be something.
Yeah, don't stress your vocals.
I would want it. I would want it to be something that would merit the character, though. If I was doing that, because like everything I've done in character as Sarge, like the only game, like I streamed, what was it, SmackDown vs. Raw 2006, and that I thought I could make work because Hulk Hogan. The theme is real American, like that. That makes sense for Sarge to be into that.
I didn't know Hulk Hogan was an unlockable character in SmackDown vs. Raw 2006.
He's not even unlockable. You can play as him from the start.
Because back then, I used to make my own wrestling characters. I'm not sure if you remember this channel, but this channel used to be called Story Mode Federation.
Doesn't sound familiar to me.
Well, they were one of the pioneers of the Creed Wrestler thing they used to do on SmackDown vs. Raw, and they had like wrestlers like the Green Ranger, Bob Saget.
I might have seen them before because I did used to use like create a wrestler guides online. Although a lot of the time I'd use written guides more than video guides. Because back in the day I'd play SmackDown vs. Raw, the original, SmackDown Just Bring It. WrestleMania 2000.
Kept doing this until 2012 when they stopped.
I played, what was it? Showdown Legends of Wrestling. I played a lot of wrestling games, I guess I should say. Raw 2. Yeah. I've never played Raw 1, but I have it, so I should play it. Because
I would love to keep talking to you, but I need to get to bed. I got Saturday class in the morning, okay? I'm sorry, man.
Don't apologize, man. Like I said, you're not obligated to talk to me. Have a good one. Let's see. So yeah, really easy week at work this week. Like I said, I can't find my fucking tobacco pipe, so that's gay. But I did a double feature last night with my friend Theron, also known as Rem, or the Pitcher. And we watched Bardock, the Father of Goku, and History of Trunks. Unfortunately, he didn't really seem to care all that much for Bardock, the Father of Goku. Like, he liked a few moments, but, like, overall wasn't super engrossed. But he was really into History of Trunks. Now, keep in mind, this friend of mine has never seen Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z. He's played the PS2 games and shit growing up, but he's never sat down and watched the show, at least not to any great length. And so we watched those movies. He loved History of Trunks, though, as I knew he would. I kind of could tell he would prefer History of Trunks. I got kind of a good gauge on that, because I do think History of Trunks is probably the objectively better movie, but I tend to prefer Episode of Bardock. Episode of Bardock is a different one. Bardock, the Father of Goku, just because I really like Bardock as a character. But I do think, if you're just going strictly on story, History of Trunks is better written and is constantly, it's engrossing throughout. But, yeah, ever since we watched that, now he wants to watch the Android Saga. So we're probably going to do that. So we'll start. It's going to be 72 episodes because starting with the arrival of Trunks and ending with the Cell games. We looked it up and did the math. It's about 72 episodes to do the whole Android Saga. So that'll be fun. Again, I don't really like just skipping ahead to it, but in this case, I mean, the Android Saga is peak Dragon Ball, and he played the PS2 game, so he kind of gets the idea. Although I do want to show him original Dragon Ball, because original Dragon Ball is my favorite of the series. The Android Saga is peak for the whole series, but original is my favorite as a whole, right? Z has all the best moments, but original is a more cohesive, singular series. And then, obviously, I like GT more than Z as a singular series as well. What's up, Chisu? AF was good. I have not read the Toyotaro version of AF. I've read the first volume of the Young Gigi version of AF. I do like Zykor. I've seen animations and stuff with Zykor. Zykor's pretty cool. I do like, the color scheme of Super Saiyan 5 and stuff. But, But other than that, I haven't really looked too much into... Like, I like concepts of AF, but I've never actually sat down and read the whole thing. Let's see. How you been today, Chisu? What you been up to? Also, let's see, what else is there to talk about? I made progress in Devilman the game, finally. Took me fucking forever, but I finally did. Like, after, what, 5 years I've been stuck on that one spot? Like, it's nuts. I'm pretty good. Reviewing a silent film? Oh yeah, what film? A sad, tragic, dark film? Oh, are you gonna keep it a secret until you review it? Is that what you're doing? Gonna once you post the review, that's gonna be the reveal? Effectively? Let's see, He Who Gets Slapped with Lon Chaney. I'm not familiar with that one. I mean, I'm obviously familiar with Lon Chaney, but I'm not familiar with that movie, so there you go. Let's see, News whines AI fakes things to trick us to change the side we support, like booze companies saying weed's bad makes you think, say, do bad things. Only we get to deceive you. When others do it, it's bad. Oh, yeah, I mean, like, literally, like, news channels will say shit like, we're the trusted sources. Don't look into stuff yourself. Listen to us. I know Valerie can do whatever he wants, but I'm still a little disappointed that he deleted the collection videos because those collection videos were the only reason I knew his channel existed. Let's face it, though, Andy. Malachi's collection videos were like, mid at best, right? Like, they weren't great. Like, it wasn't anything special. Like, yeah, it sucks that he deleted them. Really does. And, it sucks even more that he's not a normal guy anymore. Like, it sucks that he lost his fucking mind. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. There's not a whole lot we can do about that, right? Like, man wants to destroy himself. And it's unfortunate, but it's true. Because remember, he used to be a fan of mine. And maybe he deleted those collection videos because he was mirroring my style. Which I think is just pathetic and weird if he did that. Deleting vids is for fags? I mean, I would largely agree with you, Chisu. I would largely agree. Like, if there's a valid reason, then sure. But I would say, as a whole, I'm not in favor of it, yeah. Because, I don't delete content very often. With me, I usually, I leave my content up most of the time. There's a couple of times where I'll unlist it or private it for one reason or another, and then I'll usually upload a re-edit. But, most of the time, my content stays up as is. SVU, he forced his penis in me. My idea, lawyer, how long was it? Girl, over 20 inches, it's still in my ass. What the hell is wrong with you? Shows tentacle from witness to defendants? What the fuck? Fucking Toshio Maeda, right? Got that shit going on. But, yeah, I figured, it was time to do a Redeye Raw again. Because, Redeye Raw is when I'm, I think, most interactive, even with your nonsense, Chisu. Like, Redeye Raw is one of the few times I actually engage with your ideas, right? Even though they're fucking cringe most of the time. In Macross, Minmay... No. Chisu. For the last fucking time. Stop it. Are you aware that the Funimation app and website will be shutting down on April 2nd, 2024? Good riddance, I say. I mean, yeah, look, I've never used it. Because obviously I don't like Funimation. I don't use their stuff. People would bury power lines to protect them from wind, but I thought wind made energy like Superman hiding from the sun. If wind really made energy, power lines and wind would gain power like in plants. Would gain power like plants in the sun. Checkmate eco-commies? That doesn't make any sense, Chisu. That's... First off, no one has argued that wind creates energy. Wind just is a transfer of energy. Energy can be neither created nor destroyed. Second off... what's it called? The type of energy you're thinking of is very different. Like, power lines are not like fucking wind turbines. It's not just going to magically work like that. Like, I know you're telling a joke, but that just isn't how it's going to work. And with you, I wouldn't be surprised if you genuinely thought that with some of the crazy shit you say sometimes. Let's see. That's why it's funny, it's fucked. If you say so. Amazon Prime ad, black guy with horse mask hits on girl. Me, he's black like a horse. And also... as in dong? Okay. Like, you making a... he's black so he has a horse cock? Is that the joke? Is he what Vosh fantasized being? It's really funny to me how nonchalantly Vosh just talks about how he wants to fuck girls as a horse. Like, that's... Like, I know, like, there's obviously more to it than that with his fucking folder leaks, but I think it's really funny that he's just really fucking nonchalant about, like, though, that this part's, like, no one's gonna even question. See, Chisu, you're so fucking gross, man. Don't like making love to a butt. He'd poop out the sperm out in a Pizza Hut. Maybe if we could go to Wendy's, we'd turn the H-Man's... like Hellman's? H-Man's into sodomies? The homans into... I don't even fucking care. Will be boned. He will be... like, it's not even really funny. Like, it's just gross and stupid. Like, I don't mind spending... every day? What? Huh? Like the I don't mind spending every... like them I don't mind spending every day? Like, I'm not really... humans. Oh, okay. Okay, instead of Hellman's or something. Because I thought you were saying, like, Hellman's mustard or some shit. I don't know. Either way, it wasn't funny. The song. Oh, like the... I don't know that song, first off, Chisu. Like... and I don't care to look into it, because it's just gross. It's not funny. Oh, that song! I don't mind spending every day down on... yeah, okay. I know what you're talking about now. But I'm not redoing that. It's just gross. I read it. That should suffice. But I haven't gone to the cigar shop in a while either, because, you know, I haven't had a ton of money. Because, you know, all these fucking hour cuts at work have been, hell, like, the work's been easy as fuck, but, you know. 60 Minutes, female gorilla with ape nips unblurred in National Geographic, same with Africans. Racist? Yeah, there you go. No, dude, it's tribal nudity, so it's okay, see? No, that's always been a weird one in school, that they'll show shit like that. Like, they'll show some fucking National Geographic shit. Car called Dodge Hornet. Odd as it's named after a bug no one likes. I mean, it works, though. Might as well call it the tapeworm. No, because, Hornet, it works. Hornet sounds like a car name. Tapeworm does not. It's just the word is punchier, you know? Alright, I think I need to take a piss. So, let's go ahead and throw the boys up here. I will be right back. I didn't put up the music because I was only gone for a minute, but I did put the dick man up. It's funny, I'll put the fucking music to fucking horrify the audience when I'm gone for an extended period of time, but no, when it's just for a second, I can't do that. Candace Straight Broadcaster had a show I never watch, Coroner. One episode Mom had on, Africanized woman came to skeleton on table. Looks fucked. My idea. Of course, here we go. Here comes Chisu's idea. Are we ready for awfulness? And not even funny awfulness? No, someone ate him before I could. Okay. Okay, I'll give you that one. That was kind of funny. Soviet candidate, a few law tech sites now pay. Why the fuck did you censor pay? For news stories linked on them instead of paying for things other lands don't force them to. Facebook stopped all its news in Canada. News monkeys filed a complaint with government, says it's unfair, uncompetitive. Facebook blocks our news to force Facebook to post things I don't want and pay for it, aka slavery. You're so, wordy, Chisu. You don't know how to fucking be succinct and, you're very ineloquent, but also very wordy. It's very odd. I don't like Facebook. Zucker's skin belongs in a microwave, but even a mutant shouldn't be forced to do things it don't want, okay? I honestly had to think about what that even said, because it was so fucking long I forgot what the original point was. But now tech sites pay for news stories, is I guess what you're saying. Because, I forgot about that part, because the rest of it's so long and retarded. Technically, you've been playing Devilman the game on your channel since November 13th, 2017, but I think it was more around 2019 in terms of when you played the game in live streams. I mean, yeah, no, for sure, I started it then, but I've been stuck on that part for 5 or 6 years, right? In the news, baby survived being born in earthquake, February 2023. This is a year-old news, Chisu. One fam bit it. She's born in Rubble. Rubble? Oh, Rubble. Why the fuck did I say Rubble? That very clearly said Rubble. Now I'm being retarded. Uncle and aunt adopted her. Me, is this how the superhero... This is how the superhero movies start. Born in a calamity, family bit it. The gods piled her destiny... Or guided her destiny to survive for a reason, etc. I think your brain's been in the microwave. You guys know that King Cobra JFS, he had that chick over at his house. And she finally left today, so that's good, because she was a fucking control freak, dude. Like, I genuinely, like, Cobra likes to play it off like he was happy, but, like, she clearly, like, sucked the fucking life out of him, like the succubus she is. And she's gross, too. I like how Andy's trying to tell you how to type. When it's like, that's not the first issue I'd have with it. I will say this, too. Another thing I've been thinking about, right? Like, well, I always think about. I realize I have a lot of disdain for people, just in general, right? Like, fucking... People are, like, so fucking vapid and, like, they fucking, like, annoy me. Like, for instance, YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts is the lowest form of content, right? Like, YouTube Shorts is awful. And, like, everything is so fake and manufactured on there. And, like, that's not to say that there haven't been things that I've enjoyed on it. But it's just so fucking vapid, and you're just scrolling, and it's like, why? Like, I know that they're trying to be TikTok, which, by the way, I will never use TikTok, because it's fucking... It's just as vapid. And that's the whole app, and it's a fucking Chinese spyware. With fucking, like, the types of content people consume and make, like, everything's so fucking artificial and plastic and soulless that everyone does now. And, like, people, like, get all up in arms and self-righteous and, like, outraged over fucking nothing, and it drives me nuts, right? Like, everyone has to act like they're a moral authority on shit as soon as someone, like, says or does something offensive. Like, it's insane to me. You seem pretty disgruntled. Might want to eat dynamite and jump on it, saying... What? Eat dynamite and ump on it, saying Joe Smith... Oh, Akbar? Like, it's supposed to be like a... Because I was raised Mormon, maybe, and also Muslim joke? People are devolving? No, I agree. I genuinely do think that is kind of true. Like, young people are some of the dumbest fucking people. Like, fucking Skibbity Toilet is, like, the gayest fucking shit I have ever heard. Like, even ironically, it's not funny. Like, I don't get it. Like, and, like, the fucking slang they use is the most fucking, like, trashy shit ever. Like, everything... And, like, I don't like older people a lot of the time. Like, there are older people I like, sure, but, like, I just find that I have kind of a disdain for people in general. Like, I'm antisocial as hell, but, like, sometimes I border on just fucking hating people. Like, there are people I like, and I care about people, and obviously I value human life as itself, and I don't wish ill on people. But people disgust me. Like going on Jihad, plus BTS fags and Taylor Swift. Yeah. Dad feels bad for openly French alleged male Trudeau's woman ditching him despite all the awfulness that monkey did. Me, I feel bad for Bruce MacArthur. His wife left and took the kids when he went queer, allegedly iced all those male strangers who met him to bone. I am not familiar with Bruce MacArthur. Sounds kind of Dahmer-y, though. Convoluted ways. Yeah, no, Chisu says everything in a fucking convoluted way, Andy. You're right. Did I mention re-upload channels? So there's clearly people out there who will go out of their way to make certain types of content still exist, even if the original uploader says otherwise. Well, yeah, sure. Yeah, no, there are re-upload channels. Those are a thing. Archive channels, clip channels, compilation, shit like that. Yeah, those exist for sure. Some of these guys are surplus to requirements. Yeah. Like, it's funny, because, like, you know, you bring up the fact that, like, every generation is stupider than the one that precedes it. Because, like, people are like, oh, every generation has always said that the next generation is dumb. And it's like, yeah, and I think they're all kind of right. Like, I do think we've been on a downward spiral. Ever since the boomers, really. Non-copyrighted Alvin and the Chipmunks, Albin and the Chimpunks, Ape Gang in leather shades, spiked neon hair in California's ruined cities to battle furry gangs, real animals in brutal gory splatter. Make it sound like a fucking 90s cartoon, like Biker Mice from Mars or some shit, but like 18, like fucking amped up to 11 with gore. And their mascot's Dave the Slave, a human in chains used for their lusts. Okay, well now you made it gay. Party of 5 dog put to sleep, cooked to dust. That is the most interesting way I've ever heard cremation said. Dumped in park it liked. Guy, should we save anything? Me... Huh? Rub-a-dub-dub suck my dong. Like, what's the joke there? What's the fucking joke there? Like, huh? Where is the funny? I don't even get that one. Like, should we save anything? Rub-a-dub-dub suck my dong. Like, the punchline has nothing to do with the rest of it. Like, what? Like, do you just think random equals funny? Because I don't think that's inherently the case. I said the one thing that came to mind? Well, it doesn't work. Boo. Boo Ben Boo. For Big Bang Theory, Howard's back from space. Watch to bold wife. She's sick. Allergies. My idea. She's boned too many guys. Again, get some fucking new material. Has AIDS. Boned Howard. He melts to gray sand and screams. Boy, have I never heard that before. Like, honestly, Jisoo, you like you would be so easy to just like make a random generator of that would just like pump out the same shit as you, because you have like 6 ideas, period. just see a fucking thing in one of the fucking servers I'm in that says, man uses avocado as grenade and robs 2 banks for $32,000, and then has Sun Tzu saying, all warfare is based on deception. The only main gripe with longer videos that are not live streams is that they can take forever to upload and fully publish. Not always, though. I've never really had an issue with it, but then again, my upload speed is actually pretty decent, whereas it's my download speed that can leave something to be desired. Writers/film actors guilds on strike prevented others doing work they them refused to. Like someone doesn't want to eat animals, milk, eggs, ain't satisfied with. Only they, them, not eating it, but forces others to. Like protesting by restaurants, serving burgers. The guilds are like PETA, and no one with a brain likes them. Yeah? I mean, look, I think vegans are the scum of the earth. Like, if they don't want to eat meat, fine, cool. But, they can fuck off. Like, if they want to go up and be a fucking bitch to me. Like, I've never had it happen in person, luckily. Like, the vegans I've actually met in real life have not been like that, luckily. I've only met, like, a couple that I know of, but still. Your girlfriend might get her Kekko Common lines in soon? Okay. Well, there you go. I am seeing a lot of things about something to do with a cop and acorns. Like, I need to find out the context of this. With Barbie dominating the box office, I hope we get many Barbie. Why Barbie? I don't care. Smoke the Green Goblin cart? What? Green Goblin cart? What do you mean Green Goblin cart? What? Goblin D's nuts? What? No. Now, geez, so the only time I want a movie of blonde bimbos being hot is if they're being fucking chased, like, down by Jason Voorhees and fucking gutted. That's what I'd want to see. Sometimes I left the computer running all night while I go to sleep because I don't want to stare at YouTube upload page for 5 hours while waiting for some of my long play videos to fully process. Yeah. Oh, Andy, if they're already uploaded, you don't have to wait for it to process. You only have to wait for the upload. You can turn it off after it's uploaded, and it's just processing on YouTube itself. With his Turk homies, Barack said of America, we don't consider ourselves a Christian, Jewish, and Muslim nation. That's wrong. America was founded based on Christian principles. Oh yeah, absolutely it was. It's like saying Taco Bell is not a Mexican restaurant. Well, I think that's a little different. Or KFC isn't a meat provider. I suppose in the most basic sense, I guess you're right that they're comparable, now that I think about it, but you know, America is a country that can be defined in a single word. Is the foot. Let's see. Yeah! Yeah! Now, I gotta say, like, fucking people's, like, the things that people, like, get into, care about, or, like, trends and shit, like, just make me fucking sick. Like, it's fucking annoying. Like I said, like, YouTube Shorts, lowest form of content. Modern slang, cringe. Most people's, like, fake outrage for everything, cringe. Like, yeah. I don't like a lot of people. It's true. Look it up in the Cucumber Bible. Xavier Whittle at the Secret Museum, Charles Dickens shows him to use imagination. My idea, they show him deviant art at 4chan. You know, I could put the depth of everything that you've ever said, and it would not even fill a kiddie pool, like, at all. Like, the smallest one, it wouldn't even come a third of the way up. There is so little depth. Let me think. What else is there to talk about tonight? Guess I could talk about some stuff I got planned. I'm going to edit the two newest Devilman the game stuff into a single video. So, like, I'll be uploading part 6 to that, right? There's a shit show that Corbin, me, and Spencer recorded that I'm going to edit and upload. And then, I'm thinking of doing some more Dragon Ball content, because I've been thinking about that a lot lately, too. But yeah, how much you want to bet, like, King Cobra JFS just, like, doesn't talk to that chick again? Because, yeah, she was a fucking control freak, like, Jesus Christ. Like, she'd go on his stream and, like, take control, like, she'd just sit there, barking demands at him, telling him what to do, fucking arguing with the cops when they came to his house, like, because obviously trolls are fucking horrible and kept calling cops on him, as they do, because they're pieces of shit, like, the ones who do that are, anyway, like, obviously, like, regular trolls are fine, but, like, trolls who, like, call the cops on him are fucked up, and fuck them. Like, it's not even funny. Although, admittedly, like, some of his reactions can be funny. Was she black/French? No. To my knowledge, she was neither of those things. But she looked like a fucking tweaker in her 50s, basically. Like, she was only a couple years older than Josh. But she looked so much older. And she looked like she was a fucking tweaker. And there's one stream where she started, like, spazzing out, like she was clearly high on something. Like, people think that maybe, like, her vitamin pills were not actually vitamins. There's Devilman the Game PS1 playlist on your channel, but that hasn't been updated since November 26, 2018. And it only covers your original playthrough of the game before the live streams. So, it's the same playthrough, Andy. I don't put the raw streams in that playlist, but once they get edited into videos, that's when they'll go in the playlist. So the two streams that I recently did are going to be edited into one video with a bunch of failed attempts cut out, and it's going to be more cohesive, and then go into the playlist, as is tradition. Because you got to remember, I started that playthrough before I used to do live streams. I used to upload them I'd record it and upload it in like 30-minute or so increments. And so I'm trying to keep up the trend with that. Because I feel like also the streams would be boring if you're just watching me fail. I feel like the videos, just watching me fail over and over again for hours, wouldn't inherently be the most fun to watch. Like, maybe some of my reactions are funny and shit, and that's why I leave the streams up, but they're not going in the playlist. They're not playlist worthy. Just like how most of my Sans attempts are not in the Undertale playlist. Like, there's a good, like, 30 hours of Sans attempts at least that aren't in the Undertale playlist. Hell, maybe even 40. Because I know it took 60 hours to beat him the first time. And I would actually say that most of those aren't in the playlist. So it might even be closer to 50. I don't know. I honestly don't know how much of the Sans stuff isn't in the playlist. Because after a while, when I started just doing Sans as a feature on other streams, they didn't make it in. But the Devilman stuff, once it gets re-edited, will be going in. On Big Bang Theory, they talk of finding Ellen Page hot. Wait till she had her body damaged. Fake being male. You think might make him not like her, but after all the sissiness, it might be canon. I will never watch The Big Bang Theory. It looks so fucking stupid. That's another thing is like, fucking YouTube Shorts always has like shit of like The Big Bang Theory and Young Sheldon. Like, I don't get it. Aren't those shows like wildly unpopular? Who the fuck is watching this shit? Come to think of it, is Big Bang Theory still going? And if so, why and how? No, it ended in 2019. Okay, good. How many fucking seasons? 12 seasons? Jeez! How the fuck did it get 12 seasons? What about Young Sheldon? Is that still going? Young Sheldon is still going. What the hell? It ended in 2018, but in 2022 was the crossover where they went on Pioneer Expedition in Robotech 2. Well, now I know you're making shit up. The 12 Seasons of Hell? Yeah, there you go. There is a special that came out in 2019 that was the ending of it. But it was just a retrospective of the most memorable moments. Yeah, I made Dup. It's a vid I made as a crossover. Ah. Wow. Well, I think that's all I really have to say tonight. I've rambled on, haven't really said a lot